Okay, so book 11 is going to start on page 388, and it is the land of the dead, which is where we're heading after we are on Circe's island. Odysseus and his crew set out for the land of the dead. They arrive and find the place to which Circe has directed them. Then I addressed the blurred and breathless dead, vowing to slaughter my best heifer for them before she calved at home in Ithaca, and burn the choice spits on the altar fire. As for Tiresias, I swore to sacrifice a black lamb, handsomest of all our flock, thus to assuage the nations of the dead. I pledged these rites, then slashed the lamb anew, letting their black blood stream into the well pit. Lots of sacrificial stuff for the gods. Now the souls gathered, stirring out of Erebus, brides and young men, and men grow old in pain, and tender girls whose hearts were new to grief. Many were there too, torn by brazen lance heads, battle slain, bearing still their bloody gear. From every side they came and sought the pit with rustling cries, and I grew sick with fear. But presently I gave command to my officers to flay those sheep the bronze cut down, and make burnt offerings of flesh to the gods below, to sovereign death, to pale Persephone. Meanwhile I crouched with my dawn sword to keep the surging phantoms from the bloody pit till I should know the presence of Tiresias. One shade came first, Elpenor, of our company, who lay unburied still on that wide earth as we had left him, dead in Circe's hall, untouched, unmourned, when other cares compelled us. Now when I saw him here, I wept for pity and called out to him, "How is this, Elpenor? How could you journey to the western gloom swifter of foot than I and the black lugger?" He sighed and answered, "Son of great Laertes, Odysseus, master mariner and soldier, bad luck shadowed me, and no kindly power. Ignoble death I drank with so much wine. I slept on Circe's roof, then could not see the long, steep backward ladder coming down, and fell that height. My neck bone, buckled under, snapped, and my spirit found this well of dark. Now hear the grace I pray for, in the name of those back in the world, not here. Your wife and father, he who gave you bread in childhood, and your own child, your only son, Telemachus, long ago left at home. When you make sail and put these lodgings of dim death behind, you will moor ship, I know, upon Aea Island. There, O my lord, remember me, I pray. Do not abandon me unwept, unburied, to tempt the gods' wrath, while you sail for home. But fire my corpse and all the gear I had, and build a cairn for me above the breakers, an unknown sailor's mark for men to come. Heap up the mound there, and implant upon it the oar I pulled in life with my companions." He ceased, and I replied, "Unhappy spirit, I promise you the barrow and the burial." So he promises to go back to the island and to get his body and make sure he has a proper burial. That's the one thing he's asked so that he doesn't anger the gods. So we conversed and grimly at a distance, with my long sword between, guarding the blood, while the faint image of the lad spoke on. Now came the soul of Anticlea, dead. My mother, daughter of Autolycus, dead now, though living still when I took ship for holy Troy. Seeing the ghost, I grieved, so he didn't know that his mother had died when he was gone off at war, but held her off, through pang on pang of tears, till I should know the presence of Tiresias. Soon from the dark that prince of Thebes came forward bearing a golden staff, and he addressed me. "Son of Laertes and the gods of old, Odysseus, master of landways and seaways, why leave the blazing sun, O man of woe, to see the cold dead in the joyless region? Stand clear, put up your sword. Let me but taste of blood, I shall speak true." At this I stepped aside, and in the scabbard let my long sword ring home to the pommel silver, as he bent down to the somber blood. Then spoke the prince of those with gifts of speech. "Great captain, a fair wind and the honey lights of home are all you seek. But anguish lies ahead. The God who thunders on the land prepares it, not to be shaken from your track, implacable, in rancor for the son whose eye you blinded. Now, if we think back, who was the father of the son that got blinded, right? The earthquake god, right? One narrow strait may you take through his blows, denial of yourself, restraint of shipmates. When you make landfall on Thrinacia, first and quit the violet sea, dark on the land you'll find the grazing herds of Helios, that was the god of the sun, remember? By whom all things are seen, all speech is known. Avoid those kind. Hold fast to your intent, and hard seafaring brings you all to Ithaca. But if you raid the Beeves, I see destruction for ship and crew. Though you survive alone, bereft of all companions, lost for years, under strange sail shall you come home, to find your own house filled with trouble, insolent men eating your livestock as they court your lady. Aye, you shall make those men atone in blood. But after you have dealt out death, in open combat or by stealth, to all the suitors, go overland on foot and take an oar, until one day you come where men have lived, with meat unsalted, never known the sea, nor seen sea-going ships with crimson bows and oars that fledged light hulls for dipping flight. The spot will soon be plain to you, and I can tell you how. Some passerby will say, what winnowing fan is that upon your shoulder? Halt and implant your smooth oar in the turf, and make fair sacrifice to Lord Poseidon. A ram, a bull, a great buck boar. Turn back and carry out pure hecatombs at home to all wide heaven's lords, and undying gods to each in order. Then a sea-born death, soft as this hand of mist, will come upon you, when you are wearied out with rich old age, your country folk in blessed peace around you, and all this shall be just as I foretell. Odysseus speaks to the shade of his mother. She tells him that Penelope and Telemachus are still grieving for him, and that his father, Laertes, has moved to the country where he too mourns his son. Odysseus's mother explains that she died from a broken heart. Odysseus also speaks with the spirits of many great ladies and men who died, as well as those who were being punished for their earthly sins. Filled with horror, Odysseus and his crew set sail. All right, and that's the end of Book 11, and we're going to flip to the next video for Book 12.